Hey guys, I am back for another video. Making video part 2 of Archery 101. Now, the first thing you're going to do, right, when you learn how to hold, first thing you need to learn how to do is hold a bow. See, I'm holding it right now. I'm gripping that thing really hard. You don't need to do that. A nice light grip, you want it in your hand, but you want it a nice grip. So it's mostly in the crux of between my thumb and my pointer finger, and I just wrap my fingers around there very gently, and I hold the bow out, straight arm, boom, just like that, right? And you can move your arm around, whatever. You're going to be tired for the first, few times of shooting a bow. But once again, if you start off with a snake recurve, which I highly recommend, start off with a snake recurve, you're not going to have as much struggle. You can hold the arrow on the rest or the shelf. People call it the shelf or the rest or whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really, the terms, people get all caught up in the terms. Oh, this is the term, whatever. That doesn't matter. Learning how to shoot the thing, that's what's most important. You don't want to be like, oh, well, it's called this. Oh, yeah, well, it's called this. And those two dudes who are arguing don't know how to shoot. So you want to learn, you just want to get to where you get proficient. So hold the bow, once again, boom, just like that. You're going to hold it out. Now there's different methods of shooting. So we're going to talk about a couple different methods of shooting. I want to make sure I grab the correct arrow. Your arrow, see? This is your knock right here. Your knock right here is where the string is going to be on. There you go. There you go. Kind of hard to see. All right, there's where the string is going to go. It's going to click on to your string. It's going to click onto your string, and hopefully you guys can hear it, but I'm going to click it on there. See that little boom. So that's how you do it. Right now, here's another thing that you're going to learn how to do as well. I'll pull this in here a little bit. But you see that right there? Where the bow is? It's called the archer's paradox. So what's going to happen is when you're shooting for the first time, right? Now I got a pretty much, this is not a center bow. But what you're going to do is you see the off-colored arrow, or the off-colored fletching, what you call it, like the feather or whatever, the white. Say you have like 2 blues and 1 white. The white's always going to be facing away from the bow. It's going to be facing the opposite direction of the bow. So, always. And you know why that is? So, see how right here, I don't know if you guys can kind of sort of see it, but here, I'll show you. When you're shooting, there's nothing here that is gonna be in the way of the back of the bow. That's perfect right there. Now, I'm gonna show you guys something else. If you do it the wrong way, all right, right here. Now you see it. See this white feather right here is gonna smack the back of this right here, and it's gonna throw the arrow off. So when you pull it back and you shoot, it's gonna smack the back of this, and it's gonna make the arrow fling off there incorrectly. So the off-colored arrow, whether it's green, blue, yellow, if you have 2 blue feathers, then those are going to be facing inside. The off-colored feather or fletching or whatever you have is going to be facing outside the bow. Now that we got that established, what you're going to do, remember I talked about the loose grip, right? Now, you're going to grab the string. Now, there's different methods, different schools of thought, different cultures, of grabbing the string, right? Now, this is the most simple way of grabbing string to me. Well, actually, I take that back. Because many beginners, actually, they don't know what they're doing. So what they're going to be doing is you're going to make sure it's on there, right? You're going to hear click. When you put the knock on the string, you're going to hear click. That means the arrow is in place. It's not going to fall off. Most people start with 3 under. Boom. 3 under. Right? 3 under, because it's very, very simple. I've seen people who train for the first time, 3 under. They do 3 under, pull it back, and they let it go. They don't know anything about anchor points and stuff like that. But you'll learn some of that stuff later on. Once again, there's different schools of thought. There's a 3 under, right? There's a Slavic release. Once again, these are just personal preferences. Slavic release, I don't know if you guys can kind of sort of see it, but that would be 2 under, and then the top finger is going to be resting on the back of the arrow. And you're going to pull it back. You're going to pull it back, and you're going to let it go, right? So you're going to pull it back, and you're going to let it go. Now, method that I use, the Mediterranean. Now, that is the Robin Hood, you know, the cool thing is where 2 under and 1 finger on top. Boom, just like that. And you're going to pull it back, and you're going to let it go. Right? Now, there's different schools of thought on thumb. Some people, you know, and I don't have good proficiency with thumb. I don't use thumb at all as well. But I know there's different schools of thought on it. Now I'm going to kind of flip it around here. Hopefully you guys can see it. Whoop. But this is one of the thumb releases. Just like that. But once again, those things matter to a certain degree, but you want to make sure you do what's comfortable for you. For me, what's comfortable? 2 under, 1 on top. It's called the Mediterranean release as well. So those are really important. You know, those are important, but you're going to figure those things out yourself. You're going to try a bunch of different methods. That's what I did. I tried a bunch of different methods, and I saw, okay, well, what works for me, what doesn't work for me. You know, try a bunch of different things. Now I'm going to give you guys a tip. When it comes to archery, most people, in fact, everybody that I know that does Mediterranean, which is the 2 under, 1 on top, whatever, most of them will pull back, right? But see how low the arrow is? See? I'm going to show you guys. See how low the arrow is on there? I don't know if you guys can kind of sort of see that. But the arrow is extremely low. And some people, you know, so when that arrow releases, it's down here and it goes like this, Whoop. So it's very hard to kind of sort of see where the arrow's going. For me, I have a different method, which I can show you guys. And that is, boom, right underneath the eye, right? But, you know, those are things you're going to figure out yourself. Everybody has different shooting methods. I don't think I've ever seen everybody use the exact same method. Some people do different kinds of things. Now, here's another important tip. What you're going to do is you're going to hold the arrow on the string. Like I said, everybody uses different methods, right? Different methods, whether it's a thumb release or Mediterranean, 3 under, whatever. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure you draw back. You draw back. Everybody has, like I said, everybody has their own different method. But you're going to come back to an anchor point. And you're going to make sure your back arm, once again, isn't like this, or this, or this, or whatever. It's going to be straight back. Straight back. I don't know if you guys can sort of see that. Straight back. Touching the tip of my nose, maybe underneath my legs. Everybody, like I said, everybody has their own different method. You could take lessons at your local archery range, and they'll teach you those simple things. Well, once again, they can only teach you so far, and then you gotta go from there. Like, you can spend money on lessons, But once again, they can only teach you so much. So it's up to you to figure out what you want to do. But one of the most important things is when you pull back on your bow, right? Pull back on your bow. You're going to come back to an anchor point. Anchor point, right? Which means touching the same part of your face every single time or wherever it's at. And you're going to release. You're going to release. And once again, you're going to be flinging arrows all over the place, you know, but you're going to figure it out. You're going to figure it out yourself. You're going to be like, well, this works, that doesn't work. Wow. 3 under, okay, split finger. You know, there's so many different methods, guys. There's so many different methods. I've even seen a person using a 2-finger, you know, like a split finger method where they pull it back, and they're only using 2 fingers. They're only using 2 fingers. Once again, you don't want to, there's a temptation to pull your arm up, keep it straight, right? And then you're going to release. These are all simple tips for you guys that are just starting out with archery. But once again, it's just trial and error. You know, when you're talking to your teacher for the first time, they're going to be like, well, this is what I do, but you're going to learn your own thing. Everyone says it. I guarantee. You're going to go down and you're going to be like, oh, you know, Chris is right. There's no one way to shoot a bow. You just got to figure out what is comfortable for you, and you're going to go with it. It's simple as that. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you like it, then tell me you like it. If you have a question, you can message me or whatever. But it's very, very simple, right? Now, when you pull the arrow back, right? So you pull the arrow back, right? Pull the arrow back. You want to make sure that you're kind of lined up, hopefully maybe lined up to the target. You're going to be shooting a little lower, because if you have the arrow down here, you're going to be shooting, the arrow's going to be coming off the string lower. So it's going to be coming down and then coming straight out, right? Whereas underneath my eye, I can kind of sort of see it, and I can guide that arrow straight to the target. That's, once again, everybody has their own methods, but that's what I do. So that's all I got for you guys today. All right, see you guys later.